Hello everyone, welcome to day 3 of the Awakening series. The theme of today is sprouting. So we have prepared the soil, we have started rooting, and now it is time to sprout, to break some new ground. As we've been doing before we start with the movement part of our practice, we are going to pull a card from our Mushroom Spirit Oracle deck. So as we do that and as we prepare to do that, I want you just to find a comfortable seat first and foremost, so whatever that looks like for you. So land yourself in that comfortable seat, in that comfortable position, and just immediately drop the shoulders. Maybe take a few just gentle neck rolls, kind of release some tension. Close the eyes or soften your gaze and just start to focus on your breath. So start to separate yourself from the thoughts, from the mental chatter, and just allow yourself to focus on pulling oxygen in through your nose and releasing air back out through your nose. Maybe you notice the subtle sensations that happen in the body as you breathe in. And the chest rises, the belly expands, and as you breathe out, that chest falling, the belly button pulling back in towards the spine. So just continue to stay here with your breath, with your breathing. In and out through the nose, creating that deep ujjayi breath, the sound of the ocean. Good. So go ahead and open your eyes. And today in our sprouting practice, we are working with the Amanita muscaria. The card says expanded awareness. So let's take a look in our book for a quick moment, see what the Amanita spirit has to tell us. All right. So Amanita, expanded awareness. Because Amanita muscaria is used to alter your consciousness to help you access other planes of existence, this card represents the need to raise your consciousness to a higher level. It's time to see things from a higher and less physical perspective in a time of spiritual growth. It's time to rise up and let go of the restraints that keep you thinking inside the square. It's also time to think and see things completely differently. The Amanita does not decompose what it rises from, which is unusual for a mushroom. This is most likely due to its relationship with the pine tree, where what it once used to do is no longer required. Have you formed a relationship with something or someone where something you used to do is no longer necessary? What is your purpose now? Are you needing to look at the value you offer in a relationship and see where you both work together? Or is it more of a one-sided feeling? Red is also a color that usually spells out danger. Eating Amanita is not recommended, so this card may be a sign of something to look out for. A warning that you shouldn't partake of something unless it is done in the right manner and for the right reasons. Anything can be a poison if not used properly or not handled with respect. Tread carefully and keep an open mind. Wow. Powerful card here, powerful card. So in taking in this Amanita muscaria energy of expanded awareness, seeing things from a higher and less physical perspective, rising up, letting go of restraints that keep us from thinking inside the square. This is perfect for our sprouting day as we start to rise up from the soil, break the surface, and really start that growth process. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start our physical practice now. I'm going to keep our Amanita Muscaria card close by. So let's go ahead and start on our hands and knees in tabletop position. Let's go ahead and get those wrists under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and just immediately tap in and start to find what movement feels good here. A lot of times we find cat and cow in this position. So as you inhale, dropping the belly and lifting the heart. And as you exhale, pressing down through the full floor and rounding the spine. And just kind of completing those movements, letting your breath be your guide. Really awakening and undulating through the spine. But if it feels good to kind of think outside of the box a little bit, start to move outside of those constraints of just up and down. Follow that longing. Follow that curious exploration. But we're just starting to get the breath connected with the movement and just gently starting to wake up the spine. So just starting to connect with the breath, starting to move inward to connect with the body. Good, and once you finish your final exhale, just curl the toes under and send your hips up and back. Find downward facing dog. And once again, just like in that tabletop, immediately find what feels good. Maybe pedaling the feet from side to side, gently shaking the head, letting it hang heavy down towards the earth, sinking the heels down. Feeling the space you're creating in the back of the legs. Start to walk the hands back towards the feet. And just go ahead and find a forward fold here at the back of your mat. So many times we take forward fold at the front of our space. Let's try switching up our perspective. Getting outside of the box a little bit. Expanding our awareness and our consciousness. And so in this forward fold, maybe it feels good to just find a gentle sway back and forth. A soft bend in the knees. Maybe it feels good to grab opposite elbow with the opposite hand. Just really starting to create some space in the back of the hamstrings and really, really letting the upper body go here in this forward fold. Good, when you come back to center, inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, bring the hands back down to the mat and walk back out into a plank pose. So walking on the hands out into plank. And once you arrive in plank, send the hips up and back, find downward facing dog. On your next inhale, reach your right leg up towards the sky. Just immediately bend the knee, open up that hip just a little bit. Bringing that foot as if there was a wall behind you. Good, and as you exhale, bringing it up between the hands, drop the back knee down, find your low lunge. So as you inhale, press down through that front big toe, reach the arms back, up and around, look up. And as you exhale, start to twist towards the right and open your arms up here. So you've got warrior two arms, twisting towards the right, so twisting towards the side that has the leg in front. And just feeling your body in space here, twisting through that upper back. As you inhale, flip the front palm up, reach it behind you, find reverse warrior. So dropping that right hand to the back of the left hamstring, inhale. Good, as you exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot. Curl the back toes under and send the right foot back, find downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's take that to the other side. So inhale, lifts the left leg. Open it up, open through that hip, bend through the left knee. Just pause here just for a moment to create some extra space. And as you exhale, bring that left foot in between the hands. Back knee comes down. Inhale, brings the arms up overhead, pressing down through that front foot while dropping the hips. Inhale, look up towards the hands. And as you exhale, start to twist towards the left. So bring that left arm behind you, right fingertips towards the front of your mat. Twisting towards the left. Opening up through the chest, sending energy out through the fingertips. One more inhale. As you exhale, front palm flips, reverse the warrior. Big inhale, stretch through that right side body. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Curl back toes under, step the left foot back, downward facing dog. Good. On your next breath in, find plank pose. Inhale here, and as you exhale, lower all the way or halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, lift the heart, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Good. We're gonna walk the hands back towards the feet once again. Make sure your feet are about hip distance apart. And you're gonna slide your hands underneath your feet. So you might find a lot of bend in the knees here. I know I do. But I have my toes basically on my wrists, my feet underneath my hands. And just let the upper body go. So as you inhale, you can kind of start to straighten out the legs. And as you exhale, move further into that space. But keep as much bend in the knees here as you need. Let the elbows splay out towards the side. Thinking of sprouting, of breaking the surface, breaking outside of that box. What is longing to be broken free? What are you longing to let go of, to break free of, and to begin sprouting out through this new soil? Good, go ahead, remove the hands from underneath the feet. Inhale, hands to shins, lengthen out halfway. Exhale, fold forward and walk the hands out to plank. And hips up and back, downward facing dog. So we're gonna add on to our flow here. So inhale, right leg comes up towards the sky. Bend that knee, open up the hip. And as you exhale, bring that right foot up in between the hands, back knee drops. Inhale, rise up in your low lunge, arms up overhead. As you exhale, start to twist to the right side, reaching the right arm behind you, left arm towards the front. Inhale, reverse the warrior in this low lunge. And as you exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot, curl the back toes under, and immediately come up into high crescent lunge. So reach the arms all the way up overhead just for a breath. And as you exhale, come forward to standing split. So all the weight on that front foot, lifting the back leg up off the mat. Hands can reach to the floor, the ankle, keeping the hips parallel to the mat, so not opening up that left hip. But when we sprout, when we begin to break free of the soil and come out into the sunshine, there's always that moment of risk, that moment of stepping out into the light. It can be scary, it can be exhilarating, it can be everything all at once. So stepping into this sprouting moment powerfully, trusting your intuition. Good, so keep balancing on that right foot. Start to bring the hands up off the mat. Start to bring the left foot in front of you, but keep it off the ground. Reach that left leg out in front of you, balancing on the right foot. We're gonna come into tree pose. So bringing that left foot on the inside of the right thigh, down on the quad, calf, or ankle with the toes on the ground, wherever you need. Find your tree pose. And we're just a sprouting tree right now. So we're gonna keep our hands down, keep them at our heart. We've just broken free from the soil, just started to rise up. So we're not gonna fully rise and fully bloom just yet. So staying here, feeling the heartbeat. That moment of sprouting can be an exhilarating moment. So just allowing yourself to feel it. Feel your heartbeat, keeping you steady in this moment of change, in this moment of growth. Good, stay here in tree pose on the right side for one more breath. Good, gently just bring the left foot down by the right, find mountain pose. So just notice how good now it probably feels to have both feet on the earth. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring your hands to shins, lengthen out. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, step back to plank. And we're gonna take a vinyasa here. So lower halfway, all the way. Inhale brings you to upward facing dog. And exhale sends the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Good, so this time lift the left leg up. Go ahead, bend that knee, open up through that left hip. As you exhale, left foot comes in between the hands, the back knee drops. Inhale, press down through the toes, reach all the way up overhead. As you exhale, start to open up, twist to the left. So right hand to the front of the mat, left hand to the back. Big inhale here. Good. Start to reach that right palm up towards the sky. Find reverse warrior. One big breath. As you exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame that front foot. Curl the back toes over. And we're gonna rise up into crescent lunge just for a breath for transition. And exhale, hands come down to the mat. Take that leap of faith. Start to break free from the soil, sprouting. Starting to show yourself, starting to reveal what has been longing to break free and make its way to the surface. So what within you have you noticed has been wanting a moment to break free, to come to the surface, to grow, and to bloom? Good, we're gonna start to come into that tree pose. So balancing on the left leg, starting to bring the right foot, let it skim the mat. Reach it out in front of you and bring it in for tree pose on the left side. So once again, all the way up into the hip, at the calf, or balancing with the toes on the ground, heel on the ankle. Whatever works for you. Maybe it's different on each side. And since we are sprouting, we're gonna keep our hands at our heart, just breaking free of the surface. So taking a moment in this tree balance to tap into what inside of you is trying to break free. What wants to come to the surface? Maybe it's a new habit, a new way of thinking, a new way of being. Maybe it's just some questions that you want to explore. Give those the time and space right here to make their appearance. Let them break free from the box, break free from the soil, and begin to grow and bloom and see what happens. Good. Mindfully release that right foot, bring it down to the mat, find mountain pose. Take a deep breath in through the nose, close the eyes, and exhale out through the mouth. Good. Start to heel toe those feet out about hip, a little wider than hips distance apart. We're gonna come down into Malasana, yogi squat. So on your inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead. And as you exhale, drop into that yogi squat, bringing the hips below the knees. Palms can come down to heart center. We're gonna kind of take just a gentle opening flow in this Malasana. So go ahead and drop your right hand. And as you inhale, just start to reach the left arm up overhead, just a little opening up through the chest. Big inhale here. Exhale, bring it down. Drop that left hand on the inside of the left leg. Inhale, reaches the right arm all the way up overhead. And exhale, bring it back down. Come back into your Malasana. Just a couple breaths here. Starting to wind down this practice. Just resting in the feeling of having broken free from the soil, starting to emerge into the sunlight, into the daylight, into the world, to share and explore this new version of you. Go ahead and bring the hands behind you to allow yourself to sit down. Cross the legs in front, whatever's a comfortable seated position for you. Bring the hands down on the knees. Close your eyes or find a soft gaze. Feel the length in your spine and feel the space in your body. Begin sending your breath to whatever in your body needs some extra love, needs some extra space, and some extra care. Now that we've begun sprouting, hold this new little sprout very close and dear to your heart as you move through the next week, as the next few days. Be careful with this part of yourself and allow it to begin to bloom and grow over the next few days. Be patient, be kind, and be curious. As you inhale, bring your arms all the way up overhead to touch. Exhale, fold forward, bringing the hands down to heart center. Inhale brings you back up. Thank you so much for joining me for day 3 of the Awakening series. I will see you next time for day 4. Thank you. Bye.